Welcome back to another episode of Unscripted, the go-to podcast for those flipping the script and taking the unexpected path. I'm your host, Jessica Bergio, holistic life and business coach, author, speaker, and self-proclaimed high-energy hype girl. Each week, I'm bringing you inside. No gatekeeping here. I'll touch on proven holistic business strategies, powerful mindset shifts that have led my clients through massive transformations, and no BS conversation with industry leaders designed to help you get out of your own way to actively pursue a life of purpose. If you're ready to ditch the limitations at the door, hit follow and get ready to be activated to step boldly towards your big goals. Now let's dive in. Welcome back to Unscripted. It's your girl, Jess. I'm so excited to drop in with you today. I've got some juicy nuggets. I'm going to take us one way and then I'm going to drop us into another experience that I had recently because I think both are important to talk about and they kind of coincide because I think there's this expectation that we have as humans that we feel like, why can't things be easier? Why can't this just be working out? Why can't I experience like joy and happiness over here while also not having to deal with bullshit in the same day? It's like a roller coaster, right? Any given day. And it's not just entrepreneurs that deal with this. It's moms, it's men, it's humans, it's dads, it's single people, it's people who aren't in relationships, all of us, every single human experiences the vast difference of ups and downs throughout any given day, any week, any month. And often we're just desiring to be in that space of flow and peace and happiness. And I think just the fact of the matter is we're going to have days that are up and down. And today was actually one of those days. And there were parts of the day where I was just in the moment and thinking, oh my gosh, this is so cool that this is my life and that I get to do this. And I'll share a little bit about that in a second. But as the day progressed and different things came at me, I also sat and thought, what the fuck? This is my life. I have to deal with this. I guess we can't know dark to not know light. And I've talked about this more and more recently over the last few episodes of the podcast. If you are a regular here, and if so, thank you. I appreciate the love and support for this podcast. We just hit top almost 1% in all podcasts. We're at 1.5% right now with a really good listen score. And I have all of my wonderful listeners, you to thank for that. I'm so grateful that I found podcasting when I did. I definitely have vocalized how much I feel like it's helped me connect my voice to my brand, help me build a brand, and help me find really my superpower and ability to hopefully share information with you that you can take and relate to your own life in real time because I'm willing to document mine. And I'm willing to get vulnerable and I'm willing to have hard conversations with not just myself, but a lot of the guests that we have on the show where we pull back the curtain and we talk about the real shit and we dig into the how and we figure out the who and we continuously show up and we stay in that energy of figuring it out. So today I had the pleasure of hanging out with two of my girlfriends. One's a newer friend. Her name is Jamie. She is known as the ad expert on Instagram. She's a Facebook ad specialist. She's been doing it for over 10 years. We were connected through another friend of mine who said, oh, Jamie lives in San Diego. You got to meet her. But we actually met in Scottsdale. She was there to speak at an event and I had a group of girls over to my house. And so she came and we've grabbed coffee a couple times, and then we finally got together with another friend of mine, Gina Aliotti, my partner in Volare, the product Focus that I talk about all the time that has changed the game for me as far as being able to drop into flow and focus. If you have not tried Focus, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Just click below in the show notes, grab your discount, use the code Unscripted, and grab a bottle. You'll probably just want to do a subscription because it is that good. But Gina, I actually introduced to that group and she was at a retreat where Jamie was speaking. So we actually met up in Scottsdale a few months ago when that was happening and have been trying to plan like a girls' day ever since. And so that happened today. And I wanted to carve out time to kind of recap what it was like to hang out with two other women who are also entrepreneurs. Gina's been my longtime friend. She was my fitness coach back in the day when I was a competitive bodybuilder. That's how we met when I was 25. And for context, I'm now 43. So we've known each other for quite a while. We both have kids now and our journeys in entrepreneurship have been a wild ride. She is an amazing fitness coach, online trainer. She's got different programs. She's got her own podcast I've helped her start now called Your Feathered Soul. She has a journal out. She also is a mom of two and has transformed her body with home workouts, and she helps simplify nutrition. So she's got a really awesome background. Like I said, Jamie's an ad expert. You all know me. You've seen my pivot from the beauty industry into the online coaching space, helping people optimize their consistency, confidence, and clarity in order to really clarify their message, move from chaos into really focused and clear action. So the three of us got together, we grabbed coffee, got a late breakfast, and then moved over to my house and masterminded and just got to know each other a little bit better over the next couple of hours. And it was amazing because when you are able to shift from surface level conversations with people because you have a foundational understanding that you're all kind of playing in the same world. I know a lot of people in entrepreneurship feel lonely because they don't have maybe an inner circle to connect with yet. They don't have anybody to talk about their big ideas. They don't have anybody to share their challenges and struggles with. And the conversation took its turns here and there. Gina and I talked about our kids and the challenges we faced over there. We both tapped into the relationships that we're in and how they do and don't support us in different ways as far as our business. We were able to share some challenges that we've had with clients and just talk about all kinds of things. And it was so nice to just not have to give any real backstory, but be able to just fully be expressed. I think each of us said something that maybe we wouldn't have wanted anybody else to hear. And it was just a really great opportunity to carve out almost a full day. We met at 11 and we were together till about 4 o'clock. And you have to be really intentional to create a day like that with your friends or with people you want to become friends with. And that last part is key. People you want to develop relationships with, you have to invest the time. I talk a lot about investments on this podcast, and it can look like your time, not just your money or what's coming out of your pocketbook. And so a full day invested in growing female relationships, growing relationships in the business world was everything. And it's what I've been looking for. And I know it's what a lot of you have been looking for and actually asking me for. So if you haven't noticed, we are launching our next mastermind round in July, the Unscripted Mastermind. But in the meantime, if you have not been a part of my world yet, I will be hosting a retreat in Scottsdale June 6th, Unscripted Live. It is a full one-day mastermind where we will be doing all feminine energy in the morning, dropping into masculine in the afternoon with a lot of business strategy and tactical, tangible take-homes. And we'll be kicking off at 9 a.m. and we will be kicking you out by 9 p.m. after a wonderful dinner, chef inspired, with some of our speakers that will stay from the day so you can sit down and ask them questions, dig into the workshops that they led. It's going to be really amazing and I think you're going to love it. But I definitely noticed that today was one of those days where I just was so grateful that I have stayed in the game. We talked a lot about being consistent and a lot about what it's taken for me to show up consistently on my podcast. It was one of the things both the girls were asking me, like, how do I do it? What's my process? And then I was able to show them a lot of things on the back end that I do to stay organized with the podcast. I showed them Riverside, which is the platform I record on. I just got to show them a lot of the things I would normally like charge somebody for coaching. And then our friend Jamie, she showed me a lot of stuff with SEO and back end stuff that I didn't know about. And then Gina added in a bunch of her ideas. And then they both gave me some great ideas for a new course and a new freebie that I can use. That's really the beautiful thing of getting that time and not trying to shove things like that in an hour or 30 minutes and really having the whole day to feel like you could dive into each other's things without it feeling too forced. But overall, it was an amazing afternoon and I can't wait to hang out with them again. In hindsight, I had to rush off to Kai's baseball game. And while I was sitting at the baseball game, I looked at my email, which I probably shouldn't have. And I saw two emails from two of his teachers that he's struggling in their class and kind of how he's been an asshole in the class, has gotten kicked out multiple times. My kid has ADHD, can't sit still for very long, and he gets easily distracted. Regular public school is just not working out for him right now. His behavior isn't bad. He's just a giggler and a chatty Cathy. And it really just pissed me off when I saw those emails. I was like, I worked so hard to curate this life and to give my kid everything. And I pulled him out of the dugout and I took him to the side and I said, hey, I got these emails and I want you to take a look at what you have right now. I said, you're getting to play baseball. You're getting to do this. You have these privileges. You have all this stuff. And I'm in a position to take it all away from you because you are not performing at the level you're supposed to. It's almost like I'm his boss and he's the employee and he's not performing. So he's going to get written up and he's going to get demoted or he's going to get things taken away. And I had to laugh as I walked back to my car after the game thinking like so much of my headspace, so much of my decision making goes into taking care of my kid. And as an entrepreneur and as a woman, as a single mom, I have him probably 3/4 of the time. I have so much on my plate and I have so much to navigate and so many decisions to make throughout the day that Things like Flocus, things like a day with the girls, things like having an OBM like my girl Drea to help me stay organized, help me stay on task, help me not to say fuck all this shit and give up and quit on days where things just feel really challenging and hard. I am just reminded that I am blessed to have a kid. I am blessed to be able to experience this part of my life with him, and that at 12 years old, you're not meant to have it all figured out, and to give him a little grace to fail and flop and fuck up. Because I was not definitely a perfect sixth, seventh, or eighth grader. And so it's just you relearn how to have patience and empathy and so many things. So many like lessons came in for me today. And the journey that we all take is so different. Nobody really knows what each of us goes through each and every day. So I just want to remind you to give yourself some grace and to lean into the ebbs and flows of your day and to not get too high or let things get you too low, and get some tools where you can regulate your nervous system, whether it's going for a walk, taking a breather, not having the alcohol when you feel triggered to numb out, not losing your shit when you know it would make you feel better for a second, but knowing that these ups and downs and these ebbs and flows in our business and our life and our relationships are normal, and that all of it's part of the process. And the quicker that we just embrace the wild ride that we're all on, the more fun and joy we can find of it, the quicker we can bounce back. Like right now, it's 7 o'clock at night. This was not a planned podcast episode to sit down and record, but I was like, you're in your head, you're thinking your thoughts, you're feeling your feels. Like, this is the kind of real shit content that needs to come out into the world that we need to talk about. This behind the scenes, like, how are you really feeling? How do you process stuff? This is the power of having a podcast, is really being able to connect with your audience, really being able to tap into who you are. This platform helps you build know, like, and trust, so that if you have something that you're potentially launching or selling, people feel connected to you. They're like, oh, she's a real person. She's human. She deals with bullshit too. I relate to her. I like her energy, yet she still shows up and she's still confident and holds that accountability and she's consistent. And I know that can be true for you too. I know that sometimes it's really hard and you're like, what the actual F? But trust when I tell you, keep going, keep staying consistent, figure out what that means for you. Ask for help when you need it. Raise your hand. But you don't have to figure this all out on your own. I got you. And I've been so invested in my one-on-one clients. I've seen so much growth with them over the last 6, 7, 8 months. And I have 2 spots open in April for my one-on-one coaching spots too. So if this is something you've been craving deeply, if you want someone to walk beside you and help show you the way to grow your email list, build quality marketing material to help you position yourself as an expert or authority in whatever field you're working in, whether you're a brick and mortar, building up a client base, whether you're a leader in your industry, or whether you're looking to become one, I got you. These are things that I love working with people on. Obviously, I believe in a podcast. I believe in long form content being the way to really, truly connect with people. And I also believe in getting in the room. You hear me talk about it all the time. That's why I'm creating the Unscripted Retreat. Again, that's June 6th in Scottsdale. If you want to grab a ticket, just scroll below. The links are in the show notes. If you have any questions, you can shoot me a DM, but I'm always here rooting for you, walking alongside you, living in the shit too some days. And I just feel it. And I want you to know that I got you. You got you. And I'll see you on the next episode of Unscripted.